Agriculture is one of the most significant sector of the Indian economy. Yes, agriculture is the science and art of cultivating plants and livestock, or occupation concerned with cultivating land, raising crops and feeding, breeding and raising livestock, or the production of crops, livestock or poultry. For agriculture, water is vital for the growth of plants. There can be no plants or crops if they do not have access to water in some form. It is, therefore, crucial to supply water to crops and plants periodically and as per their requirement. There are two main ways that farmers use agricultural water to cultivate crops: rain-fed farming and irrigation. Rain-fed farming is the natural application of water to the soil through direct rainfall. In Dhanush village, there can be no farming when there is no rain. Do you think farming can be done even without rainwater? How? Yes, farming can be done without rainwater through irrigation. Irrigation is a process of watering the plants manually through wells, tube wells, canals, harvested rainwater, etc. So, irrigation is this periodic and appropriate supply of water to plants. The water for this irrigation comes from various sources such as wells, ponds, rivers, dams, reservoirs, rainfall, etc. Irrigation is the artificial application of water to the soil through various systems of tubes, pumps and sprays. Irrigation is usually used in areas where rainfall is irregular or dry times or drought is expected. Irrigation essentially means the watering of land to make it ready for agricultural purposes. An irrigation system is the supplying of water via artificial canals and channels to growing plants and crops in a field. There are many types of irrigation systems in which water is supplied to the entire field uniformly. Irrigation water can come from groundwater through springs or wells, surface water through rivers, lakes or reservoirs, or even other sources such as treated wastewater or desalinated water. The types of irrigation systems. There are many different types of irrigation systems depending on how the water is distributed throughout the field. Some common types of irrigation systems include surface irrigation. Water is distributed over and across land by gravity. No mechanical pump involved in surface irrigation. Localized irrigation. Water is distributed under low pressure through a pipe network and applied to each plant. Drip irrigation. The most commonly used method of irrigation these days is the drip method. They lay the pipes in rows near the crops or plants. These plastic pipes have holes in them. Water seeps from these holes drop by drop. Hence the name drip irrigation. This is an extremely efficient method of irrigation as it reduces water wastage. Drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a type of localized irrigation in which drops of water are delivered at or near the root of plants. In this type of irrigation, evaporation and runoff are minimized. Sprinkler irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation. Water is distributed by overhead high pressure sprinklers or guns from a central location in the field or from sprinklers on moving platforms. Sprinkler irrigation mimics the phenomenon of rain. Water is carried by pipes to central locations on the farm. Sprinklers placed here distribute the water across the fields. This is the most efficient method to irrigate the uneven land. Sprinkler system also provides the best coverage regardless of the size of the farm. Center pivot irrigation. In this system, water is distributed by a system of sprinklers that move on wheels in a circular pattern. This system is commonly used in flat areas. Sub-irrigation. Water is distributed across land by raising the water table through a system of pumping. Pumping stations, canals, gates and ditches. This type of irrigation is most effective in areas with high water table. Subsurface irrigation. In a few areas, soil conditions are favorable to sub-irrigation. Water is delivered to the field in ditches spaced 50 to 100 feet apart and is allowed to seep into the ground to maintain the water table at a height such that water from the capillary fringe is available to the crops. Sub-irrigation. Trickle irrigation. Trickle irrigation is that method of irrigation in which water are continuously applied at the base of each plant through small plastic tubes, virtually eliminates all evaporation from soil, deep percolation and runoff, and leads to very high efficiency in the use of water. Manual irrigation. Manual irrigation water is distributed across land through manual labor and watering cans. This system is very labor intensive. Now let us see the methods of irrigation that were used in the earlier years. Even today, some small farms in rural areas adopt these. Although they are cheaper than the modern methods, they are not nearly as efficient. They require human or animal labor to function. Some of these methods are moat, also called the pulley system. It involves pulling up water from a well or other such source to irrigate the land. But it is very cost efficient. Also, wastage of water is avoided when using a moat system of irrigation. Deckley. It is a system of drawing water from a well or such similar source. Here, we tie a rope and bucket to a pole. At the other end, we tie a heavy stick or any other object as a counterbalance, and we use this pole to draw up water. Rahat system of irrigation uses animal labor. Above the well, we tie a large wheel as shown in the picture. An ox or cow would turn the wheel to draw the water from the well. Chain pump. A chain pump consists of two large wheels connected by a chain. One part of the chain dips into the water source. The chain later lifts them to the upper wheel where the water gets deposited into a source. Furrow irrigation. This method of irrigation is widely used for row crops and small furrows called corrugations. The furrow is a narrow ditch between row of plants. An important advantage of the furrow method is that only 0.2 to 0.5 as much surface area is wetted during irrigation as compared with flooding methods of irrigation. Furrow irrigation is adapted to lands of irregular topography. Sugarcane farming. Sugarcane is the raw material for the production of white sugar, jaggery. It is one of the most important food cum cash crop grown in the country. It provides employment to a large number of people across the country. In addition to earning considerable foreign exchange. It is also used for chewing and extraction of juice for beverage purposes. Sugarcane is able to grow over a prolonged season under warm, humid conditions. It can continue its growth unless terminated by flowering. More temperatures arrest its growth. If too less temperature, slow it down markedly. And severe frost proves fatal of the sugarcane plants. Sugarcane farming. Plough the land thrice lengthwise and breadthwise and level properly. Prepare furrows 25 cm deep and 75 cm apart for short duration and 90 cm apart. Sugarcane is planted as stem cuttings which are between 1 or 2 feet long and contain 2 or more nodes in each. You can see the distributed sets of sugarcane in the field. The sets are to be placed along the center of the furrows. Plant sets end to end in the furrow with the eye buds facing sideways. Yes. After that, it has to be covered with soil in the pit system. Remember, plant 2 to 3 sets in each pit. Water management is very important. Irrigate the crop 8 to 10 times depending upon the availability of rains. However, too much moisture is to be avoided and stagnation of water also to be avoided during germination and early growth phases. Apart from that, seed management, nutrient management, weed management, pest management, disease management are to be taken care. Sugarcane matures in 10 to 12 months in North India and 18 to 20 months in South India. Different indicators of harvesting are leaves become yellow, plants stop growing and arrows come out, cane produces metallic sounds, buds swell out, harvesting schedules. In India, harvesting of sugarcane is carried out at 10 to 18 months stage depending upon the planting time and crop maturity. Manual harvesting and knives, cutting blade or hand axes are used for manual harvesting. It requires skilled laborers to cut the sugarcane. Early varieties are harvested at 10 months stage, mid-late 10 to 12 months and late after 12 months stage. Crop yield about 50 tons of sugarcane per acre, from which about 5 tons of sugar is extracted. Now let's see about bore wells and tube wells. They both are similar. Both are basically vertical drilled wells bored into an underground Aquifer in the earth's surface to extract water for various purposes. Canals. Canals are waterways, channels or artificial waterways for water conveyance or to service water transport vehicles. They may also help with irrigation. It can be thought of as an artificial version of a river. Indian states are full of canals used for irrigation and as water transport in different parts of the country. These water transports of India play a very important role in irrigation of crops in drought region of India such as Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Now let's see what do Danu and other families in the village do after the celebration of Dasara. They move by caravan and can see caravan of the families. They go and settle near the sugarcane fields and sugarcane factories. For 6 months, they would stay in their huts made of dry sugarcane and its leaves. The men will get up early in the morning and go to cut sugarcanes in the fields. The women and children tie the bundles of sugarcane. Here you can see parent and children working together. Then the bundles are taken to the sugarcane factory. When the bundles are taken to sugarcane factory, Danu also often goes with his father. Sometimes they spend nights outside the factory on bullock carts. There, Danu plays with the bullocks and wanders all around, looking at the sugarcane and the other people. He spends his time there. Now let's see what happens at the factory. Here, Danu's father gets the sugarcane weighed and takes a receipt. They show this receipt to the agent who then keeps an account of their loan. The agent also gives them some money for the next week's expenses. Once they receive the money, they give it to the ladies in the family. Danush, I and Mami take the children to the nearby village market to buy atta and oil for the next week. Sometimes Mami buys laddus or some sweets for the children. Danu is Mami's favorite, so she also buys pencils, erasers and notebooks for Danu. Though Danu is not going to the school at present, she buys and keeps for him because she wants him to study. After all, Danu is Mami's favorite. Maybe Danu won't be using these for 6 months because he's not going to the school. Actually, Mami wants Danu to study and become somebody in life. She does not want Danu to move around with his family like this. Mama and Mami tell Danu's parents, next time when we leave our village after Dasara, we will leave Danu with his Dadi and Chachi. He will go to school like other children in the village. He should continue his studies. He should study further and become somebody in life. This was Mami's and Mama's wish. Why does Mami wish that Danu should go to school for the whole year and study? Mami wanted Danu to become an educated and successful person in his life. That is why she wished that Danu should go to school for the whole year and study. What happens when you are not able to go to school for a long time? When a person is not able to go to a school for a long time, then most of the time he or she will forget what they have learned earlier. Why does Mommy wish that Danu should go to school for the whole year and study? Mommy wished Danu should go to school for the whole year and study so that he can study well, and in future he can get a good job and work independently. No need to wander like them in the fields, so that he could become a rich person and earn a good reputation in the society. Their main aim was Danu should not suffer like them, their family members. In this lesson, we saw that Danu has to go with his village people to other places. Can there be some arrangement during such time so that Danu continues his study? Yes, when Danu has to go with his village people to other places, there he can go to any nearby school. If there are many such children, then small classes can be conducted under the trees. What are the similarities and differences in the lives of different kinds of farmers? There are many similarities and differences in the lives of different kinds of farmers. Let us see some of the similarities. Most of the farmers are usually dependent on the farms to earn their living. In most cases, all the family members are engaged in farming. Most of them are dependent on rain for their farming. Most of them have to borrow a lot of money in order to get good machines for their farms. Most of them are illiterate. Most of them follow the same basic methods of farming, irrigation, etc. Now, let's see some differences in the lives of some farmers. Some of them have their own lands and some are so poor that they have to work on others' lands. Some are working in rainy weather conditions, but some are totally deprived of rain and have to survive in drought conditions. They sow different varieties of seeds depending upon the climatic conditions at their places. Some follow the old tradition methods of It's very important to know about organic farming and inorganic farming. In organic farming, in this kind of farming, there is no use of chemicals, pesticides, insecticides and weedicides are avoided in organic farming. Only natural manure is used in place of fertilizers. In inorganic farming, chemicals are used. Pesticides, insecticides and weedicides are used. Fertilizers are prominent in inorganic farming. Know about agricultural loans. Agricultural loans are any loans that are availed by a farmer to fund seasonal agricultural operation or related activities like animal farming or purchase of land or agricultural tools. Banks provide agricultural term loans to farmers for investment purposes and short-term loans for production purposes. There is a need to finance farmers for purchasing land, not only to expand their activities but also to make existing small and marginal units big and to bring the empty barren lands or the waste lands under cultivation. Always remember, in India, agriculture has been marked as priority sector because farmers constitute a large part of the population. As such, agriculture sector qualifies for priority sector, lending at lower interest rates by banks. In India, most of the commercial banks, cooperative societies and rural banks provide agricultural loans to farmers. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you understand, the more you will succeed. Thanks for watching.